Alrighty. Welcome back, guys. So my apologies for this little break. I forgot to do the standings, so now you will be able to see some nice standings on the left side of your screen. So hopefully that is going to be some good quality right there. Now let's go straight into previous races. We had Canada, we had Maxi in P1, we had RRL Pans in P2, and RRL James in P3. I'm just gonna have a quick listen on the Twitch for myself to see if that quality is actually pretty decent, because sometimes the quality seems to be a little bit underperforming. Yeah, we will be seeing if that is better or not. Yeah, so the quality right now seems to be pretty good. I'm a little bit, how do you say that? Nasal tonight, but that doesn't really matter, of course. So Canada was the previous race. Today we will be racing on Austria with a population of about 9 million people. The first Grand Prix was in 1970. That amount of winner, well, the biggest winner of the league, is a little bit wrong because unfortunately I picked this chart from the previous week, which that league also had Austria. So tonight, we are going to be racing on Austria, of course, and the track, this is about 4.3 kilometers, and the race distance will be around 155 kilometers. It's full qualifying instead of short qualifying, and it's a 50% race. Now, entering turns 7 and 8, you've got a little bit of a swervy there. Then the start-finish straight, where you will have the opportunity to use the DRS, and it's a good overtaking opportunity into turn 1, although you have to watch out. You do have a lot of runaway room on the exit, so you will be able to make that move without any severe damage. Now into turn 3, where you can easily make a dive bomb 90 inside, but it's a hard braking zone to the right. So it's a little bit of a 90 degrees, maybe a 100 degrees corner. Now you're coming into turn 4, if I'm not mistaken, into sector 2. As you go quite wide on the exit, try to get as much exit speed as possible. Then into turn 5, into turn 6. Quite a dangerous overtaking opportunity, but it is possible. And then we were back at turn 7 and turn 8. Now, my strategy of today would be the safety car probability is quite high on Austria. Tire degradation rate, tire overheating probability, not really. So I would say a medium hard or a hard medium. Hard soft is also a good opportunity, well, a possibility. Or medium soft, or medium soft. Well, did anyone actually try that already? I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. We're gonna go straight into the qualifying, as it seems to be raining here in Austria on the Red Bull Ring. So let's have a quick look if we are going to be able to get some good qualifying. Oh, the qualifying just ended. So that is going to be Q2, which just ended. As I said, it is going to be a full qualifying. I missed Q1, I missed Q2, but we're going to be here for Q3, of course. I did a little bit of a deal with the owners where I was only going to be streaming Q3. So that I won't have to put too much effort into Q1 and Q2, because nothing is happening there anyway. Now we've got Undead in P1, Hunter in P2, and James in P3. Further, we've got Brody, Maxi, Iceman Walker, Rayner, Green Ace, and Meep, and then Ghostliar all the way in P10. We've got Pans in P11, Korre, Wufafa, Shadow Wolf, and Sazen, who didn't make it through Q2. Now into Q3. And I really think these guys are either going to be having rain or either going to be having sunshine, but not somewhere in the middle. Let's have a quick look here. It is going to be rain indeed. So we're just going to be having another rainy qualifying and possibly some intermediates for a lot of guys. So we're just chilling in the pit lane right now, waiting for everyone to come out of the pits. As I want to put the full track map on, of course, the lap data to see whoever is improving on their previous time, of course. As I'm quickly gonna blow my nose. Welcome Apex, welcome Sazen. Hope you guys are having a pretty good evening. I'm a little bit sick, so I'm just gonna try and keep myself comfortable during this qualifying in this race. But yeah, usually on Austria, that should be pretty decent. So I'm just going to blow my nose real quick, and then we will be right back. So a little bit inside information, guys. Apparently, Mr. Apex had a full qualifying ban, so he is starting from the back. That is quite unfortunate. But yeah, what can you do about it, right? If you've been dirty, you need to be punished. You need to be punished. In this other league I stream for, they usually give out qualifying bans for guys who don't deliver footage. I'm not too sure if that's the same here in Rayners Racing League. But a big prospect, Mr. Maxi, is he going to put himself in the pole today? I mean, Maxi, he has P1 in the Drivers' Championship, so he has something to... No, Larcy, it's a league I've done already, but I do them once every month. But yeah, Mondays is getting difficult, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to continue streaming on Mondays. First time out of Q2. Oh, that's unfortunate, Wood. That's really unfortunate. I mean, we've got a good amount of drivers here in the top 10, so nothing to blame yourself for. I do have to say these guys are all pretty fast. We've got Maxi, James, Rayner, Undead, Evil Hunter. All these guys are really, really fast, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see other fast drivers get out of Q2. Only the top 4 are fast. Fair enough. So that's going to be Maxi, Undead, Iceman, and who's the fourth one? James, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's not James. Who is it? No idea, but Brody got a podium last week, so... No, he didn't. Wait, did he get a podium? He didn't get a podium. It was Pans, James, and Maxi. James can be quick. Fair enough. James is pretty quick though. I do have to say that from the previous race I've seen. He was pretty quick. He was pretty quick. Goes onto the gravel though, so he has to watch out. Haha, Wufafa. Nice name, buddy. Oh, Brody in P1 right now, 112.3. As that will put him in a pole position for now, as there is a yellow flag in sector 1. That is going to be an AlphaTauri, as he's going pretty slow there. As the Haas driver and the Ferrari driver go past him right now, as I don't think James will be able to put himself in the top 3. As he went a little bit deep into turn 4, now coming down the line, it's going to be a 113.7. As that will be a P4, so pretty surprising result there from the Alpine driver as he gets pushed back a little bit now. As Maxi comes across the line with a 113.0. Oh yeah, turn 3 is always chaos on Austria. I think it's one of the only overtaking opportunities because you've got that long DRS straight. Basically into turn 1, you already had a pretty long DRS straight, where you're able to get a little bit closer to the guy ahead, and then coming out of turn 1, you've got that long DRS straight entering turn 3. But yeah, of course the guys will be pretty close to the guys ahead. So turn 3 is the ideal overtaking opportunity corner here in Austria. I don't know which other corners are pretty decent for overtakes. Maybe turn 4, as you also have DRS straight there. It's actually interesting that you have 3 DRS straights here in Austria. Oh, no idea, Larcy. No idea. The game is broken and we all know that. The game is broken and we all know that. Unfortunately, though, I thought he was actually... Well, they were actually going to be able to create a decent race, but yeah. Wasn't this case either. They were all hyping us up that bad to buy this game again, and they fooled us again. Of course, I need to buy this for the commentary, but yeah. I used to be 3 seconds off, but this game dropped me 3 seconds slower. So you're 6 seconds slower now, Sazen. That's pretty interesting. There's no game without bugs. No, but you know, Larcy, it's not noticeable. This game, the bugs really make the game unplayable. I mean, not the lap, of course, because that doesn't really matter. But for example, lobby glitches and all that kind of stuff. I don't know any other game which has more lobby glitches than Formula One. I think the chances on like F1 races are 1 out of 4. Big middle finger. I do have to say, this game now is better than at the end of F1 22. That is a fact. Like F1 22, at the end of F1 22, it was bad. But F1 22 at the beginning was pretty good when it didn't have any updates or anything. The lobbies weren't glitched yet. Everyone was able to make a normal lobby, and then at the end of F1 22, all the lobby just started glitching and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not really something you're looking for in a game, especially when like lobbies are one of the most important things in the game, right? Everyone is racing against each other. For example, if you've got Call of Duty or something like that, you don't necessarily need to shoot against other people as you can shoot against the AI. I mean, of course, in F1 you can also race against the AI, but that's not really what league racing is all about. I don't even think there's like leagues with Call of Duty or something like that. Maybe FIFA is also pretty important, but I don't think there's like any lobby glitches with FIFA or something like that, you know? Well, I guess we will see for this new EA game, the EA FC. It will be a great thingy, I think. I mean, I'm gonna buy it though. I agreed to play some pro clubs. I've played it once in my whole life. I think it was on FIFA 21, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe even 22. I think it was 22 though. It was a pretty good game, but I don't think it's worth the money because I won't be playing it that much. But you know, I will be in Dublin anyway. Some evenings I won't have anything to do, so. Says, and that is 100% true though. They never should have sold the F1 franchise to EA. Who actually made those F1 games before? Wasn't it Codemasters or something? You know, this one is actually nice if the lobbies were good. But apart from that, because I feel like the controls of the game are actually more decent than F1 22, so I do think they're developing the game. Like they're learning from their mistakes. F1 22 was just not drivable. F1 23 is way better. I feel like you spin less and all that kind of stuff. I do know a buddy who still spins every race. His name is Bob. He's awful at this game and still competes at the top, at the highest level. So no idea how that is possible, but it is what it is, right? But you know, F1 22, the game was just not drivable, so I feel like they made a big upstep. Oh, Sazin. Oh, no, buddy. That is not true. Do you race with a controller or a wheel? Because I feel like controller players are complaining more than wheel players. Although that the wheel players do experience force feedback loss. Ooh, Sazin. Maybe you're not as good with a wheel as you think. Ooh. Oh, Meep slides through that corner, though. He only has a 114.7. I feel like these guys are all on wets. And I'm not 100% sure if they're going to be... What track did they actually... Oh, they did it on intermediate, so they're not going to be able to improve anymore, I feel like. They're not, as Meep is about 4 seconds slower, 3 seconds slower. Yeah, so this is going to be qualifying over, actually. Brody in P1, and Dad in P2, and Max in P3. That is going to be your starting grid. The guys will not be able to improve, as, of course, intermediates are faster than the wets. Most of the time. Most of the time. Ah, no, Sazin, I was just making a joke, buddy. Don't take it personal. I know with a little bit of practice, you will be able to become the greatest F1 driver to ever lived. But yeah, you need to put practice in, of course. Sometimes people feel like they're, you know, going to become the best F1 driver ever without ever practicing. Thank you for the follow, Laura. Appreciate it. But yeah, of course, I mean, going into a race without any practice, there are people who are able to make that work, but that's because they did a lot of practicing before that, just to create racecraft and race skills and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you just start the game, start with the game, this is just your first game, right? Don't think you're gonna be magically appearing a 102.5 in Austria. That is just not possible. Sad, and that is 100% true though. I mean, some people learn from their mistakes, and some people are not really learning from their mistakes. Not saying you're not learning from your mistakes, but I feel like you're not getting any faster after years of practicing. I know someone, he's been driving for 10 years already. I drove for like 3 months and I became faster than him. So I was like, what do you do wrong, or what do I do right, right? Codemaster was not perfect, but Codemasters was better than EA games. You know, I feel like F1 2020 was the best game ever. Well, the best F1 game, of course. Oh, Sasm, but the assists don't necessarily make you slower, though. I know a league where the fastest guy runs full traction control, so and they are really fast. I swear to God, they're really fast. But let's go through the qualifying grid right now. Brody starts in P1 with Undead next to him and Maxi right behind him. We've got Evil Hunter in P4 and Green Ace in P5. Further, we've got James Iceman, Rayner, Meep, and Gozlar. I've actually not seen many Welsh drivers on F1. I think I had one driver, and his name was Josh, if I'm not mistaken. He was pretty fast, but that was my first ever F1 league. No, actually, my first ever F1 league was the Larcy. Didn't I meet you there in the League Racing Nederland? Oh yeah, Sazin. Without assistant, this game is way easier. I swear to God. I wasn't able to race no TC on previous game. I am now. This game is so easy. Once you get the hang of it, I swear to God. Oh yeah, I met you in Matty's stream. Who did I meet in the League Racing Nederland then? No idea. Oh yeah, I do know that I brought you into the league. But yeah, no idea. Sazin, do you actually put effort into practicing or not really? Like, you just give up after 5 laps? Because I feel like people are giving up too fast these days. By the way, shouldn't you be getting ready for the race? You're chatting in the chat, but I feel like you need to practice a little bit. Not really practice, but like setting up the setup and all that kind of stuff. Ah, there we go. We've got 19 people, and that is not too bad if you think about it. Isovate is starting P18. We had him in the comms box for Blame the Game. So he was just playing the game. He got a total point of 1, which is actually the worst result we had already. You didn't get in, Larcy. Didn't you get like... Oh yeah, I know why. Your application wasn't allowed because you were too slow, right? I do remember that. I do remember that. So let's have a quick look what tires we will be going on. I think it's all going to be intermediates though. Yes, it is. Nobody has taken a bold strategy here, so it's going to be a chaotic turn 1. I bought the game same day as I got the game. That is some good English, Larcy. That is some good English. Oh, Sazin, that is... Oh, you need to take more breaks, buddy. Just trying to understand what the problem is rather than just racing itself, you know, analyze what you did wrong. Watch back some footage. Look at the throttle meter, if that makes sense. If you spin out of a corner. Oh, Sazin, by the way, do you upshift? Like, do you shift up early coming out of a corner? For example, let's say turn 10, if that's... No, turn 9 from Bahrain. It's like that long left-hander, and you've got a very short one down the main straight, DRS straight, and then you've got turn 10, a long left-hander. Do you short shift there? Because short shift is a really big help in F1, right? Like, I use short shifting all the time, even with medium traction control. Yeah, Larcy, it's usually, for me, it's shifting up. I don't feel like going on the throttle easier is working. Like, shifting up works better, if that makes sense. All right, guys, so we've got 5 red lights here in Austria. So we're going to be racing in the Rayners Racing League here in Austria. It is going to be raining. Yeah, I do overuse short shifting. Oh, there's an Aston Martin. Was going a little bit slippy through the start there, as no big position changes are happening. We're seeing Isovate, who got 1 position, and there's a yellow flag already. There's a McLaren and an AlphaTauri all the way at the back of the grid. That's going to be Lord Goslar and Base Bistel. And Meep has made up 3 positions right there in P6. So not a bad start for the Williams driver, but it's not going to be a safety car, so that's great. Pans, who's got a 5-second time penalty for some reason. I feel like... Oh yeah, Larcy, that's true. But I feel like I'm scared of going through a corner, just because of the no traction. I still have to like learn the perfect balance between short shifting and short shifting and like the throttle. Oh, we're racing again. Green flags and go, go, go. Who's pretty close? Max is pretty close to Undead right now. Right on the tail of the Ferrari driver. Is he going to be able to make it work, though? Oh, yeah, Larcy, you're the most aggressive driver I know, buddy. And I'm probably the most careful guy, because, you know, I don't want to end up in any incidents. You're losing more positions having an incident than just losing a position because you're careful, you know. Iceman Walker on the tail of the Alpine driver, and there will be no DRS used right now, so we're not going to be seeing anyone use DRS. So we're possibly not going to be seeing any overtakes down the main straight into turn 2, into turn 3. So yeah, it's just going to be patiently waiting. I feel like on Austria, moves are a little bit more difficult. Usually it's more when people are making mistakes. As Isovate has already made up 6 positions, so the Red Bull driver not doing a bad job. He's letting everyone go through, though. Wait. What the fuck is happening here, bro? Did you see that? He went... Well... Oh, man. What is happening here? What is the Red Bull doing, though? He went onto the grass... And then somehow the McLaren driver just... I'm confused, bro. I'm confused. He just jumped over him for some reason. Brody with the fastest lap, though. I feel like he's practiced a little bit of Austria rain. And also, possibly has got a good setup. Enemy straight, they go, but Maxi is not close enough. It does look like he has got a lot of straight line speed, though. So that is good to take with you into an Austrian Grand Prix when it's raining, because you will be able to make an overtake down the main straight. Of course, not through the corners, but you will be able to hold them back a little bit through the corners, as it's going to be a 3-way battle for a P1 right now. Evo Hunter is about 1.4 seconds behind. But Maxi is really on the tail of the Ferrari driver right now, and I feel like these two have been battling the whole season already. You know, Maxi, who's P1 in the drivers, then you've got Undeed, who's P2. And then Iceman, who is all the way in P9, is currently P3 in the Drivers' Championship. So he has still a lot of positions to make up in order to keep that P3 in the Drivers' Championship. But you know, the Ferrari driver, he has been doing pretty well these last couple of races. I feel like he's not getting on the podiums, but he is definitely getting good results and decent amount of points, if that makes sense. Maxi now once again on the tail of the Ferrari driver, but he's not close enough, so we might need to focus on someone else here, as I don't think that Maxi is going to be able to make that move pretty soon. By the way, Larcy, watching this live stream, is anything annoying about the microphone? Is anything annoying about my voice or anything? Please let me know. I'm just trying to, you know, feel comfortable with this microphone. I feel like, you know, watching the meter go up and down isn't really helping at all. Shadow with a 3-second time penalty already. Meep, who's losing 2 positions. I think he made a little bit of a mistake there. Oh, Larcy. Oh, you're such a lovely guy. I think the guys are struggling because it's wet tire weather. Could that be the reason why many people are like struggling all over the place? Or Meep is racing with a controller. That could also be it. And Maxi with a good exit coming out of turn 1. He will be able to make that move down the main straight. He's about 2.5 tenths behind. He's not close enough. He's even losing time on the straights. So I think Undead is just lucky with the slipstream he's got from Brody. Right ahead. Green Ace, who might be able to make a move though. Into turn 3 goes Green Ace. He's around the outside though. He's getting pushed a little bit onto the curb, possibly losing another position to Pants right there, who's going around the outside. And that is going to be moved on. So Green Ace not only lost a position, he didn't gain one. So he was looking to gain one. He didn't do so. And then lost one to Pants, so... Oh, Larcy, that's pretty amazing, bro. We might be able to put it to AI 100, though. I feel like my Alfa Romeo is just bad. Rayner and Kotta, who are having a decent battle here in Sector 2. You know, I feel like... Oh, Shadow Wolf and Sazen have had an incident. You know, I feel like with the rain, there's more overtaking opportunities than you've got. Well, here's the thing. It's more difficult to make an overtake, but there's more overtaking opportunities. There's a big difference between the two. But we might need to focus to the top 3 though, so I'm just gonna explain my view on that while we are watching this little battle. And, you know, I said that the amount of overtakes is going to be less, but the overtaking opportunities are higher. And the main reason for that is people are scared to make an overtake in the rain, or usually underestimate making a move in the rain. But actually, look at this corner, right? Not a lot of guys are going to be making a move through there. But if you have a guy struggling right ahead and it's raining, you're going to be making that move way sooner than, for example, when it's dry, because coming into turn 8, there's not going to be a lot of people struggling when it's dry. But when it is raining, there's going to be a lot of people struggling. But many people don't dare to overtake through there. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to see if there's going to be many overtaking opportunities. I feel like Maxi is going to be able to make it now. Yeah, it's possibly for the whole race right now. Maxi around the outside. He was looking for that move though, but the room was not there. Now maybe with a switchback. Maybe with a switchback. There goes the Alfa Romeo. He doesn't have any ERS left. Look at that. Oh no, everyone has it blinking. I thought it was just because you didn't have any ERS left. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. That is gonna be a Shadow Wolf, and I feel like Alfa Romeo, even with a driver in P1 and the drivers, aren't able to get into the top 2 in the constructors. And usually it's a one-way conversation then, because it's one driver who's doing really, really well, but the other driver is just underperforming. And in this case, that would be Shadow Wolf, who doesn't really have a lot of points in the Drivers' Championship yet. So Maxi can be blamed for not scoring any points, as he does score a lot of points being P1 in the Drivers' Championship. But then, of course, you've got two pretty consistent drivers in P2 and P3 who are in Ferrari, both of them. So yeah, that's really going to give you consistency between teammates, is going to give you the constructors. But just consistency in your own race, like in your own calendar, and not really focusing on any teamwork or anything, there's going to be a big chance you're going to be getting Drivers' Championship. Of course, if you've got the pace too, right? You need to have the mentality. Usually a lot of guys are either focused on the constructors or focused on the Drivers' Championship. I would say Red Bull is more focused on the Drivers' Championship right now. They weren't a couple of years ago. Like, I don't think Mercedes was either. They were more focused on like constructors and everything. But right now, I feel like they're more focused on Drivers' Championship and not really care about teamwork between the drivers. They just want Max to win the Drivers' Championship rather than working together with constructors. No, I know Larcy. But all I'm saying is you don't need to be P1 in the Drivers' Championship to win the constructors. You know, the driver who's got P1 right now in the Drivers' Championship isn't even in the top 2 in constructors. So that's what I'm saying. You just need a good combination of drivers. Yeah, consistency as in getting the good amount of results each week of both drivers. You know, you can have a team who has one driver who's really good and one driver who's really bad, then you're not really consistent as a team, are you? That doesn't make sense. I think there is 2 drivers who stayed out, and that is going to be Undead and Evil Hunter. I think Rayners also went out. Well, stayed out. There's a couple of guys who actually came into the pits. Meep, Korre, and Rayner. We might be able to have a look at that, because it is going to be a safety car though, so just making sure everyone knew. Isovate retired from the session already. Did he crash out? Oh, he retired in the pit lane. Sazin, but yeah, I mean, most races are in P14, but you know, consistency, I wouldn't call consistency finish in the same position you're in like every time. Because, of course, consistency isn't a good way. Like, consistency is something positive, but finishing in P20 every time can be called consistent because you're just not in a good position. Because, you know, I would say, how do you say that then? I don't know the exact word for it, but I wouldn't call it consistent. Like, consistent for me, it's like getting in the top 5 each race. For me, that's consistency. Getting in the top 20 each race, it isn't difficult, but it is also consistency. I mean, not consistency, but like the negative thing of consistency. Does everyone actually score points when they finish? I feel like they do. And there's a couple of guys who actually gone onto the wet tires, so I want to see if they're going to be struggling here. It doesn't look like they're able to keep up with the guys ahead, though. You think full wets don't work, Larcy? I think they do, though. I think they do. And this race is even going to take longer with the amount of safety cars we're going to have. You know what the problem is with a rainy race? It just takes so fucking long, bro. and there's not much happening, so I just need to talk with a couple of guys in the stream to be able to keep myself entertained, because driving behind a safety car isn't really that interesting, if that makes sense. I don't think the safety car is coming in this lap either. If your engineer doesn't say you need full wets, you don't need them. That is a bold statement. I feel like the engineer sometimes doesn't know what you need. Larcy bases his racing skills too much off the engineer. Oh, all right. All right, all right, all right. Oh, I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Larcy, you didn't tell me how the microphone quality was. Was it all right? I feel like it is, though. Let me have a quick look myself. I'm just gonna have a quick listen just to see if it's better. Oh, we've got 11 watchers. Welcome, guys. Yeah, so the quality is pretty all right. I do have to say that. I do have to say that. Sometimes I drop a little bit. Well, I drop away a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna check out the Discord as I've got a message, as it is probably for King of Leagues, guys. I've got my own event coming up on the 22nd and the 23rd of September, so hopefully I will see you guys there, as it is going to be a pretty good well, couple of races. It's going to be a full qualifying on Friday and two 35% races on Saturday, so hopefully the guys are going to keep it clean. That's all we can hope for, of course. All right, so here we go. Here we go. So we've got green flags. The safety car has come into the pits. We've got a Red Bull all the way at the back of the grid. And everyone seems to be weaving all over the track, but I have got a little bit of a trick to not do that anymore, as you will be wearing down your tires pretty heavily there. Oh, the Aston Martin, not too sure what he's doing there. Evil Hunter, who's on old intermediates. I think he's helping out on that a little bit there, as the Ferrari driver hasn't come into the pits yet. So the guys all on the fresh intermediates will be a little bit faster, as they will have more grip on the track. Maxi makes a move around the outside of the Aston Martin driver, outbrakes the Aston Martin driver, but feel like it didn't really work. Gets pushed onto the curb a little bit there, and he does make that move work. Evil Hunter and Pants, who both have a penalty already. Now let's have a look how the wet tire runners are doing. Iceman, who now takes that position from Apex. Now let's have a look into this corner. Are the intermediate tires struggling? I feel like it's really close between intermediates and wets. We might want to have a look with the leader to see whether Iceman is losing time or gaining time. It is going to be another safety car, as I feel like someone has crashed out. Might have been a Shadow Wolf on the... Yes, it is indeed. On the wet tires, so... Are the wet tires the tires to go for? Iceman, who is on 2-lap all the wets, is losing time to the top driver, and that is now coming into the pits. Possibly going on to wet tires too. As of course, it depends on how hard it rains here in Austria, you know. Sometimes... I told you wets are shit. Yeah, Larcy, you did, but I feel like sometimes the wets are pretty decent if the track is really slippery. Let me think of a track which is really slippery when it's raining. Australia. I feel like Australia is really usually all the... like the, what's it called, the circuit streets, because you've got daily cars driving on that road, and that will be like part of the tire on the track, and that's what makes the track so slippery. But of course you don't have daily cars racing all over the Red Bull ring, so the track is not going to be as slippery as, for example, Saudi Arabia or something like that. What's wrong with you, Larcy? Circuit streets are usually more slippery than normal circuits, right? Oh, circuit streets. Oh my D. Oh, street circuits. Yeah, that's it. Circuit streets. Oh my days. I'm such an idiot. I I didn't even notice what I did wrong there. I didn't even notice what I did wrong. Doesn't really matter though. It doesn't really matter. Street circuits. Circuit streets. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. We're not halfway past the race. So that will be around lap 18. As the guys are still right behind the safety car. As I think we will possibly be having another safety car. And also another lap behind the safety car. But I want to keep it on leader right now to see what the difference is between Iceman and Brady. Just to see if the wet tires are better than the intermediates right now. And if they're losing a lot of time, of course. Just gonna check Discord once again as a safety car is not usually very interesting. So my apologies for that, guys. My apologies for that. Just checking out the Discord real quick to see what the guys are saying right now. Isovade, who's wishing everyone good luck. Nice thing from you, Isovade. I feel like you retired and then just posted that good luck message. I'm not too sure why you would retire though. Just having a quick look in the Twitch channel to see how many views I've got. 8, which is not too bad actually. Which is not too bad. I almost got 200 views on my open lobby video. I think the most views I've ever had is like 400, and I think it was on King of Leagues, the first edition. I think that was the most amount of views I've ever had. I could have a quick look on that Twitch follow channel. Wait, hold up. Twitch followers? I think it's that. I'm not 100% sure. Twitch tracker. That's gonna be it. My feed. Oh my days, Larcy. What are you doing, buddy? I feel like you're doing something wrong or something like that. Like, guys, Larcy has his own league, right? But usually when he posts a Facebook post, he just kind of messes it up or something. I don't know. He just messes it up. Statistics. All right. So, average views. I've got 9, but I want to see what my hours watched. I've got 1.1k hours watched. So you guys really appreciate this. I only have 123 hours stream, so that means that one video gets, 1 hour of stream usually gets about 10 hours of watch time. So that means, that means 10 people actually watch the full race, if that makes sense. No idea. Total views, I want to see that though. Oh shit, this is horrible. All right, so total views. It doesn't track it anymore here, so no idea why. The amount of views, wait, 220, no idea. All right, so guys, we're gonna be going into the race again. It's gonna take quite a while, I think. I mean, it's 10 o'clock right now. Fuck me, we're already racing for like 1 hour straight. How late does my stream usually end? I think it's like 10:30 if I'm not mistaken. We're definitely not getting there tonight. We're definitely not getting there. All right, Brody is going already with Maxi right on his heels. We've got Pants with a gap of about 1.8 seconds. He is on those old intermediates though. So he's really struggling out there right now. Trying to keep James and Iceman right behind him as there he goes again. Base pistol with a 3-second time penalty. And now let's have a quick look if Iceman is really losing time to the guys ahead. It's 2.8 seconds right now, 2.7, but he's got that slipstream, of course. He needs to watch out for pans, though. 3.3, 3.4 coming out of corner. He is a little bit slippery. So I don't think it is time for the wets yet. It is not time for the wets yet. Wufafa has made a move on Lord Goldslar right there. So beautiful move there from the Haas driver. As we want to put it back to interval. I don't know why, but the guys are really taking a lot of grip on the exit there in turn 4. We saw it in the qualifying too, and now we are seeing the same in the race. They're really going wide. I don't know if it's like a broken front wing issue or something like that. We've got another yellow flag that is being caused by Shadow, if I'm not mistaken, who's going a little bit wide in turn 5 right there. We've got another yellow flag. That is Mr. Pistol in sector 2, that is. Oh, he goes into the wall. That's going to be raised over. Oh, no, he just breaks his front wing. Oh, another safety car. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, yeah, that is going to be another safety car. Unfortunately, of course. Drive-through penalty for RRL Shadow. Speeding under pit lane, under safety car, I feel like we weren't really that long yet into yellow flag, so was that actually 15 seconds? No idea. No idea. He could have just stopped on track and tried to get that delta to go down, but I feel like he didn't. There's already like pools forming on the track, so it is possibly going to be wet tires pretty soon. Pretty soon. I change the tags for every message. I post in like 3 groups. It keeps saying spam. Larcy, that is really annoying. Maybe you should change another... Well, change it to another account or something like that. I feel like that could help. I'm not 100% sure though. Not 100% sure. Guys, it's really late, and all of these safeguards just make me more tired. Like, I'm not really able to talk about anything because for some reason, you know, you haven't seen the racing that I was supposed to see. Well, I haven't seen the racing that I was supposed to see, mainly because it's raining, so there's not really anything interesting going on right now on track. So I'm just gonna try something out real quick to see if that quality is gonna be better. So let me have a quick look. 3-band equalizer. I'm gonna put it back to 2 to see how that is. Actually, I preferred it more with the 1.5. I preferred it more with the 1.5. That should be good. That should be good. Yeah, alright guys. So we're gonna have one more lap behind the safety car right now. Just chilling, you know. Just chilling. But I feel like, you know, coming into these kind of races, I don't feel like streaming anymore because you know, like you're coming into a league race and you wanna stream and you wanna have clean and good battles, but when we've got like 3 or 4 safety cars, I don't really feel like talking or anything. Like there's nothing to talk about right now with safety cars after safety cars. Like it's not these guys' problem. It's just the situation, you know, the situation possibly created by the drivers. If they would have been able to keep it clean on track or like not spinning into the wall, there wouldn't have been any safety cars. But of course everyone makes mistakes, so there's nothing to blame them for, if that makes sense, you know? But I'm just gonna have a quick look for Blame the Game, guys. I'm just gonna talk a little bit more about Blame the Game. So let me have a quick look with the standings. So the standings are gonna be looking great. We had 9 participants already. And we still have Blue New Soul in P1. Unfortunately, Isovate is going to be dead last for now. So when there's one more participant, he's going to be pushed back all the way to P10, if I'm not mistaken. Well, no, P11. So he's not going to be on the board anymore. So he's not going to be scoring anything good tonight. Or like a prize. You know, the winner gets a prize. There's once again going to be one more lap behind the safety car. These safety car laps get out of hand, though. Like, we've been behind the safety car for 3 laps already. I think it was around lap 15 or 16 when the safety car came out. We're now entering lap 20. Yeah, Larcy, I think that would be a better idea. I think that would be a better idea. RRL says now with a 3-second time penalty. There's going to be a lot of penalties, and that is usually the case when it is raining, though. You know, you've got rain. It's going to make your car slippery, and then you miss your braking point. You go a little bit wide, or you go a little bit like too short, and then you cut the corner. You're going to get a warning. After 3 warnings, you're going to get a penalty, and that penalty is 3 seconds. So only if you cut the corner very heavily, for example, in turn 3, if you just cut the whole corner, I think you're going to get a 5-second time penalty. Or maybe not in turn 3, because you don't gain too much time doing that. Let's say turn 5. And the safety car is going to come in this lap. Spanex hasn't been able to catch up to these guys, as it is really raining more heavy here. So are the guys on the wet tires going to be able to improve on the guys ahead? You know, you've got Pans, James, Maxi, Brody, all on the intermediate tires. And is that going to be worth it? Is that going to be worth it going onto the wet tires 2 safety cars ago? It was 10 laps ago when we had 2 safety cars. Well, when we had that 3rd safety car. No, that 2nd safety car. And then we had another one, and this is the 4th one, if I'm not mistaken. Or the 3rd one. I can't think straight right now. But it's going to be green flags, and we're going to be racing again. As you can see, Qatar Airways is sponsoring this track. Or the Formula 1 in general. Of course, not the stream. But here we go, guys. We are racing again. As we've got Brody leading the pack to the 21st lap of the Grand Prix. Now, Pans went a little bit too deep there, and I feel like Walker is catching up to the Mercedes driver, Pans, who is on 20 lap old intermediates, though. So they're going to be a little bit worn out here tonight. As Iceman Walker had a pretty decent exit. As he's right on the tail of the Mercedes driver. With the slipstream, he's going to be able to make that move down the inside. I'm pretty sure he is. He actually is, though. He outbrakes the Mercedes driver as there's a little bit of carnage there in turn 3. And Dad was looking to make that move work. And there goes Pans. He's just losing 4 positions in 1 sector. Look at the Williams driver down the inside there. Oh, Isovade. Oh no, Isovate is DNF'd. My apologies. It's a 4-way battle right now, and I feel like the guys are really struggling out here. We've got Meeb going out to the curb. That's not really great. That's not what we like to see. Onto the grass. He goes. And the Williams driver is really struggling. He's on 12 level wets right now. As Apex is... No, it's Apex. It's Apex. He's on these... He's also on wet tires, so are the wet tires actually better or worse? No idea. Oh, they're going too wide. Guys, that is not how you take the corner, though. How did they not get a warning for that? Did they actually get a warning? No idea. Evil Hunter now makes that move on the Ferrari driver. As Undead is currently in P4. He is on intermediate tires, so the intermediate tires are definitely better than the wet tires at the moment. I feel like there's only a small amount of tracks where you're actually gonna have wet tire conditions. One of them is The exotic Singapore. Is there anything else? Which races are usually very exotic? Maybe China? China could also be very exotic. Oh yeah, Spa. Spa is also a very wet track race. Wet tire race. Oh, there goes the Haas driver. Green Ace down the inside. Throws Pans a little bit off guard. As he's losing another position, possibly one to Wufafa. As Wufafa now takes the outside line of the Mercedes driver. Doesn't really make it work. Pans, who's trying to get some redemption on the Alpine driver, is really looking like it's going to work. Another yellow flag in Sector 1. As it seems like Meep is getting overtaken. Oh, wait. Meep is coming into the pits. The wet tires are possibly not working for the Williams driver here. Undead, who is caught up to P3. As he's retaking that position from James right there. Still 30 more laps to go in this Grand Prix. So we're past 1/3. Well, past the half of the race already. Now James around the outside, down the main straight into turn 3. But the Ferrari driver is not giving up. There he goes. James, is he going to be able to make that switchback work? Yes, he is. Undead went a little bit too deep into that corner, as that is going to be moved on by the Alpine driver right there. Pants. Struggling a little bit here. Trying to keep these guys behind him on the 20-lap-old intermediates. Oh, there's someone crashing out. That's going to be Pants. No, it's not Pants. It's Green Ace. As the Haas driver lost the front wing. And another safety car situation here. So we're just going to be chilling here. And I do have to say, the guys who went onto the wet tires, they didn't really make it work yet. You know, Iceman is 6 seconds behind Evil Hunter. Oh, drive-through penalty for Apex. Where is Apex? Where is Apex? All the way in P7, bro. He started dead last. So we might be able to make a quick look. Let me have a quick look here with the position changes. 12 position changes for Apex, so that is pretty decent right there. We've got a couple of guys coming into the pits, possibly for new intermediates. And that is not coming into the pits. Is anyone else coming actually into the pits? Apex is. So is Green Ace. As of course he's got a broken front wing, so. Then you've got Wufafa, who's not coming into the pits. Neither is Evil Hunter, I think. Neither is Korre, neither is Lord Goselaar. So all the Alpine drivers will have a hard challenge keeping the guys behind them. They will really be struggling out there, and so will the Mercedes drivers, as they're currently in P13 and 14. Possibly go back to P15 as a Rayner got overtaken in the pit lane by Mr. Meep. So did Rayner have a broken front wing which he needed to replace? It is looking like it, but it is going to be another safety car situation, and I'm out of breath, guys. I've been talking this whole stream already, and without a co-commentator I can't keep on talking. So I'm just going to play a little bit of music for you to enjoy, as that will be another safety car situation. I think it's the 4th or the 5th of tonight. And we still have 12 more laps to go. So I will see you guys pretty soon. Oh, Sheepy Kev. How are you doing, buddy? Well, no, I'm not talking because we had 4 or 5 safety cars already. So I feel like, there's not much to talk about. And like the guy I'm usually am with like all the stories and all that kind of stuff, I don't really feel well tonight. So I'm not really in the mood to be talking a lot. And, I've got my reasons. So we're just going to be going ahead into lap 27, if I'm not mistaken. Still 10 more laps to go here in this Austrian Grand Prix, as it is going to be Undead leading the race right now. But for how long on these 14 lap old intermediates? Brody seems to be taking advantage of these 3 lap old intermediates already, as he's making that move on Evil Hunter quite easily there. Defends the inside line as he makes a dive bomb on the Ferrari driver. And doesn't look like it's working. It does. He has a pretty good exit coming out of turn 3. As that is going to be moved on down the main straight. He's possibly using a little bit of ERS right there. Undead and next to the Williams driver. As they're still going alongside each other. Who's making it out on top? Does seem like that's going to be Brody. Maxi right now making that move on Evil Hunter. Evil Hunter seems to be struggling a little bit here on these old intermediates, and he still has a long way to go. 9 more laps after this one, as there is a Mercedes driver in the wall. That is going to be Pans coming out of turn 4 right there, as there's another yellow flag. That is going to be Korre, who crashed out entering the sector 3, so not a great choice. A couple of guys have gone into medium tires, so interesting choice. Lord Goslar, who stayed onto the wet tires, but it's not really raining that heavily anymore. Meep, who is really losing a lot of time on these medium tires. Doesn't look like a great choice from the Williams driver, neither was it for Shadow Wolf and Pants. But they might be able to take them on the long run. You never know. You never know. If it's going to stop raining, it doesn't necessarily look like it, so the intermediates were possibly the best option yet, as Wufafa just made a move on, I think it was Iceman or RRL Rayner, as Rayner is the owner of the league. Of course, the league is called Rayners Racing League. His name is Rayner, so I think you can connect the dots, if that makes sense. Oh, there goes the Ferrari driver. He lives in a pineapple under the sea. That's, by the way, something I recently started doing, guys. When I say, oh, it's like that intro from the pirate of SpongeBob. He says like, oh, he lives in a pineapple under the sea. And that's what I usually am going to say when someone is almost crashing out or something, like, oh, and then like I'm saying too much O's, right? I'm trying to prevent myself from saying oh, but in case I do say oh, I just say he lives in a pineapple under the sea. It makes quite sense because I don't want to say it that much. So it's a way to try and avoid saying oh too much, if that makes sense. Maxi is able to keep up with that right now. As I said at the beginning of the stream, they have been battling the whole season already, as they're now battling for championship points. Maxi with a good exit coming out of turn 4 into turn 5 around the outside, takes a lot of curb, possibly will have a better exit right there coming through turn 6 and 7. Oh, he's down the inside into turn 7. He's not going to spin out Undead. This is some clean racing from both drivers. Undead noticed that he was down the inside, didn't really cut the corner too much, as he doesn't want to risk both drivers crashing out. It's a better way to finish the season with like the knowledge that you didn't crash him out. Knowledge isn't really the right word, like with the keeping in mind you didn't crash him out, to win the drivers championship, which Max Verstappen would do or Hamilton would do. Like, for example, in Silverstone. Yeah, I didn't agree with that at all. Neither did I agree with Saudi Arabia, to be honest. Right, there goes Rayner down the inside into turn 3. Beautiful move there from the Mercedes driver, as he made up a lot of positions already. I do have to say that. Brody, who's now taking a lead of about 2.8 seconds. There goes Wufafa. Wufafa down the inside into turn 4. Beautiful move as Rayner was looking to make a switchback work, but Wufafa just parked it onto the racing line. Nothing to be said about that. A lot of penalties though. Evil Hunter, who's got 6 already. A couple of guys have got 3. You've got Shadow Wolf with 12 and Spanex with a 21. I feel like he's the biggest loser of the evening, even though he didn't start in the top 15. Like, he has been... I think he has been left by everyone already. Yeah, he did actually. I mean, it's not bad though. Like, Spanex, just keep on practicing. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to do so. Like, able to perform a little bit better, if that makes sense. Oh, yellow flag. That is going to be Spanex again. DK, does that stand for Denmark? You know, I think I've spoken once to the guy, and he's actually a pretty nice guy. So hopefully, Spanex, you're gonna get a little bit better and are gonna be able to compete with the guys in the top 10. That would be really nice to see you do that. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze real quick. So Sazon, looking at Sazon right now, right? He is having a heated battle with Apex, but he's got that penalty, so he's losing a position anyway. He's not going to be able to make a position on Iceman as he's 15 seconds ahead. But if he's able to keep it consistent right now, he might be able to make that 3-second gap on Apex. And I know Sazon is watching right now, so I'm going to give him a little bit of a Dutch speech. Sazon, ik geloof in u, makker. Come on, jij kunt deze. Ik geloof in u. 3 seconden is niet veel. 3 seconden is niet veel. Als je gewoon een beetje pusht, alhoewel niet te veel pushen, want dan krijg je misschien damage, omdat je te veel pusht. Maar gewoon consistent houden. Oh no, there's possibly going to be another safety car here. The Haas driver crashed out, and there's not going to be a safety car. Interesting. No safety car situation, but Iceman is on the tail of Mr. Rayner here. But so is Apex on the tail of Sazon. Now, let's have a quick look here. Down turn 2, they are... I wouldn't say this is a turn, really. Oh, Sazon is just letting him go through. Alright, buddy. Fair enough. He doesn't want to take any risks. I get that. I get that. Orwell James did catch up, though. Rayner now right the outside of Wufafa. Into turn 5 right now. Into turn 6. What is Wufafa going to do? He's just going to let him go through as he's got that fast Ferrari driver right behind him. Iceman, who's currently 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. He needs a good amount of points to be able to secure that top 3 position. So Wufafa is really struggling out here. Still 3 more laps to go. And what is he going to be able to do? Is it still 3 more laps though, or is it 2? It is going to be 3 more laps. We're currently entering lap 33 out of the 36. So after this one, it's going to be 3 more. But yeah, we haven't seen that much racing of the guys tonight due to the amount of safety cars. Meep, who has just made a move on Shadow Wolf, and I feel like Shadow Wolf, he hasn't been here tonight. He hasn't been here. He was just a little slower. I wouldn't say, like, he has done his best, right? The Alfa Romeo driver, like, I do have to say, all props to him for keeping it on track. Like, if I was that driver, you know, I would just park it into the wall. Like, fuck this, bro. Like, I'm not that fast as the guys ahead. There's no point in me racing here. Iceman Walker down the inside. He's not going to be able to make that work. But, you know, Shadow Wolf, he just keeps it consistent. Consistent as fuck. P14. He qualified in P14. He is staying in P14. He's got Pants right behind him. One of the faster guys out there. And he's able to win from him. So that's great to see. As he's now going to let through Mr. Wufafa and Iceman. And maybe he can even keep the toe of these guys. That would be great. You know, I do have to give the Alfa Romeo drivers a good props, you know. Alfa Romeo is my team, and if you chose the Alfa Romeo by yourself, you're even a bigger fan. Like, you're even a bigger buddy of mine. Oh, there goes the Williams driver. A little bit of a snap there. That might have been Meep. And how is Pans going to do? Is he going to be able to keep up with Shadow Wolf? Good question. You know, 6 seconds right now. Spanex, who overtook Rayners. That was quite a long time ago. I feel like Spanex has been overtaken twice already. Where's Spanex, actually? Oh, yeah, he's just been overtaken. He has just been overtaken. Or is that already for the 3rd time? No, it isn't, right? It might be, actually. It might be, actually. 3rd time? That would be pretty brutal, but, you know, I do understand if you don't have a setup or anything, you can't really expect much from your race, right? If you don't have a rain setup. I don't like racing it in the rain at all, in general. You know, I used to be a racing driver myself. I didn't really enjoy racing in the rain. I usually didn't turn up for any rain races. I just parked it into the pit lane. I couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered. It's as easy as that, guys. Like, I didn't have a setup. I didn't have anything. There goes Spanex again. Oh, he doesn't have a front wing, but he possibly doesn't want to come into the pits anymore. RRL James is on the tail of Evil Hunter, so I feel like we're going to be seeing a move pretty soon, but James just has to keep it behind the Aston Martin driver to keep it consistent. Because Evil Hunter has a 6-second time penalty and James only has 3, so there's no point in really pushing as we're now entering the last lap of this Grand Prix. Spanex shouldn't be racing another three laps, as it is. Well, he has been overtaken 3 times already, so the guys who have been overtaken don't have to race the total amount of laps. They just have to come into the pits after the leaders have come into the pits. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna be realistically seeing any crazy moves yet, because Iceman Walker is also in P8, right? And he's pretty close to Wufafa, but he doesn't have a penalty either, so he's gonna get that position anyway. Maybe if Evil Hunter is gonna be pushing here in that last sector. I feel like he is. He has created a 1-second gap on RRL James, but 2 seconds in only 1 sector would be really crazy. I don't think that's ever gonna be possible. Like, maybe if you're putting a really slow driver against a really fast driver, but then still I don't feel like that is going to be possible. Brody, who now comes across the line to pick this race win here in Austria. Congratulations to you, Brody, as it is going to be Maxi in P2 and Undead in P3. So once again, Maxi outperforms Undead in the race. RRL James takes P4 and Evil Hunter in P5. We've got Rayner with a good comeback race. I feel like he was somewhere at the back of the grid during the middle of the race. But he's currently in P6. Congratulations to him. We've got Wufafa in P7. Getting overtaken by Aceman. And that is going to be P8 then for the Haas driver. Apex is going to be in P9. As Lord Goldslayer is going to be in P10. We've got Sazen now entering Sector 3. That is going to be P11. So good amount of points for the McLaren driver. Corda in P12. Meep in P13, as that is going to be race over for the Williams driver. Pans is still going to be able to overtake him though. So he's going to be P13. Meep gets pushed back to P14. Shadow Wolf in P15. And Spanex in P16. So congratulations to everyone who has made it across the line. As I'm just going to show the results real quick. The driver of the day is going to be Apex. He made up 10 positions. So not a bad job there from the Williams driver. He's going to be happy with that P10. You know, he's going to be happy. He started in P20. He ended up in P10. Oh, he started in P19. Oh, he ended up in P9. So he made up 10 positions. I was right. So that's a nice job, buddy. P11, I'm happy for you. Starting from P15, you know, it's not an easy job to do so, especially in the race. So this is going to be your standings of tonight. And then I'm going to be finishing off the stream here, guys. I mean, there wasn't really too much to talk about. I don't really feel well either. I'm speaking very nasal, as you might be able to hear. So my apologies for that. But I'm gonna be finishing off the stream here. I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna be back soon. Like, I'm trying to take a little bit of me time with the family as I'm leaving to Dublin at on the 14th of October. So I've got about a month still with my family left. So I'm taking all the chances I've got. So guys, uh, oh, it says she's not going to because we had some issues with the microphone, so she's not going to anymore. But I might be able to make it work somehow. No idea, no idea. I still have to think about that. I might be able to ship her my microphone or something like that. I mean, give it to her because she's here with me right now. But guys, I'm gonna be finishing off the stream. I thank you very much for watching. This was Phoebe Thomas as your commentator, and I will see you guys another time. Tomorrow I've got a PGR, so I will see you guys there hopefully. As this was Phoebe Thomas, guys. Thank you very much, and